everybody. Thank you so much for coming by and celebrating the launch of my book, They Whisper with me tonight. I'm really, really excited to do this kind of super, kind of short and fun little release day party with all of you. I think it's going to be really fun. I am going to do a reading of the first chapter of They Whisper. I found a fun little Buzzfeed quiz that we could all play together. Like maybe we all take it at the same time. I remember I did that back when They Stay came out at the release day party, and that was really fun because everybody played the Buzzfeed quiz and then we all compared our answers, and it was really fun. Yeah, and just like kind of keep it casual. I know a lot of authors do these with other authors, but I thought that I really like just sitting here and chatting with you all when you stop by and comment. So I figured I'd just pop on here by myself. So oh, I see that some people are already here. Hi, media attorney. Thank you so much. Thanks for stopping by and celebrating with me. Um, Hi, Renee. Thank you also for coming by. I'm so happy. This has been such an amazing launch day. I'm like emotionally drained because it's been such a great day. Yeah, and I'm so happy that Renee is a member of my ARC team and really, really amazing. And I read your review today and it made me very happy. Um, Hi, Cool Gamer. Thanks so much for stopping by and celebrating with me. Yeah, this has been a crazy, crazy day. I had such a long to-do list and I was able to get through my to-do list today, but I'm just so thankful and happy and exhausted. And I'm just so happy that the book is finally in the world. Like everybody who's come to my writing sprints, like especially this spring, everyone, you all know that this has been a very stressful process for me getting this book done. So it feels like kind of surreal that it's just out in the world, and it just feels like a huge breath of relief. And also, it was a gorgeous day out today. And so I just like sat outside for part of the afternoon and I just started writing by hand, like the first chapter of They Return, just for fun, just so I can put some words on the page, just because it makes me really happy. So I did that and it felt so good that I love working on the next book. I did this with They Stay too. Just like I sat and I worked on They Whisper because it makes me feel so like good for continuing the series. And it's like celebrating the present, but also being excited about the next book and what's going to come in the future. So it's a good day. It was a really, really good day. Hi, Micah. Thanks so much for stopping by. And thank you. I'm very, very, very happy about it. It was a very, very good launch. Yeah. I am also very happy to see like reviews are starting to come in and social media stuff is coming in. For those of you who don't know or who didn't watch my video from earlier today where I talk about it, I just published the second book in my young adult supernatural thriller series. So I'm very, very happy about that. And it was a lot of work to get this book done. And writing a sequel was really hard. I'd never written a sequel before, and it was just so much stress, like, as I was trying to figure out how the best way to continue the story was or how I should do it and how to balance, like, the pacing with also making sure that the characters developed enough and all that stuff and figuring out where the series is gonna go. So it was stressful, but I'm happy that it's over. Yeah. How is everybody else doing today? Let me know in the comments. How was your day? Was it as good as mine? Was the weather as nice where you are as it was here? It was like I actually heard birds for the first time in a while. I live kind of close to Boston, and it's been very cold all winter up until recently. Yesterday too. It's been gorgeous days. So I figure I could probably just get started in doing the reading. I think I'll start with the reading. I remember last time when I did this for They Stay, I had some more little activities planned because I hadn't revealed the title of of book 2 until my live stream. So I revealed They Whisper's title in the release day party for They Stay. But I have already revealed the title of book 3, They Return. So I don't have that. And I also didn't run a giveaway for this release either. So I don't have any winners to announce. So I think we're just gonna keep it low key and just, hang out for a little bit. If for those of you who are here, do you have a preference as to whether we start with the reading or we start with the BuzzFeed quizzes? I think the BuzzFeed quizzes are fun and they're a little bit more active. But if you don't have a preference, then maybe I can start with the reading. And we'll only do the Buzzfeed quizzes if we have people here who want to participate with them. Because, I mean, I guess I could also just do them myself and share my answers. But it's always more fun when we're all like collaborative and doing it together. Hi, Sherry. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for stopping by and celebrating with me. I wish that I had like an actual physical copy of the book to hold up, but my print copies haven't come in the mail yet. So I'm just going to have to revert to holding They Stay and pretending that it's They Whisper. I was hoping to get my hardcovers designed in time for the launch, but I didn't do enough advanced planning because I didn't have a page count until kind of at the last minute because I didn't finish writing the book until right before I sent it to my ARC team. So I had to, talk to my cover designer at the last second and see if we could fit it in. So I think it's happening this week. So the hardcovers should be out in the next couple of weeks. But I'm just so excited to like get my next hardcover. I also need to write some bonus content for the hardcover. So that's going to be really, really fun because I like doing that for They Stay. Oh yeah, those of you who are here, actually, I'm going to take this opportunity to poll you. If anybody, what kind of bonus content is your favorite to read about in books? Like, do you like character interviews? Do you like Q&A sessions? Do you like character art? I have maps that I always put in the bonus edition hardcovers, but I'm always like, I'm kind of going back and forth. Like in They Stay, I did a character interview. I did a Q&A with the author. I did some like fun facts you didn't know about They Stay. And I also included like the original first draft of the book, or not the first draft, but like the first chapter of the book, which I thought was kind of fun. But I'm trying to think of what to do for They Whisper. I have a lot of deleted scenes that I cut from this book, so I might be able to put some of those in, even though they might not make a ton of sense because the plot has changed a lot. So maybe I'll do some more deleted scenes. But yeah, if any of you have opinions on bonus content and bonus materials that you like to see in books, let me know in the comments because your opinion means a lot to me, and I am currently trying to design that. So, oh, hi, thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much. I'm very, very happy about it. It's a very, very exciting day. Oh, Micah said, I unfortunately can't stay for long because it's really late here, so I have to go again, but I wanted to stay up until now to congratulate. Oh, thank you so much for staying up. And thank you so much for popping by. Bye, Micah. I will see you soon. I think I will start doing writing sprints again soon because I have just been bouncing around between places and haven't been able to schedule them, but soon I will be scheduling them and hopefully I'll see you soon at one of those. Sherry said maps and art are always cool. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think my issue with character art being printed in books is that I don't know if the art would render very well in the printing. Like, I know for They Stay, I had one photo, like my author photo, at the back of the book, and like the print quality is like okay, but it's not fantastic. So because it's kind of like grainy, I don't know if you can really see. It's like a little blurry and grainy. I don't know if my character tarot prints would come out very well in the book, but I don't know. I guess we'll see. All right. I think that maybe we can just start with the reading. Thank you so much. Thanks so much for coming and celebrating with me. I think I'm going to start my reading of the first chapter of They Whisper. And then after that, for those of you who are still here and those of you who pop in, we will be able to play BuzzFeed quizzes together because those are very fun. All right. So I have the first chapter pulled up on my computer. Media Attorney said, I need to get back to work, but wanted to stop in to say congratulations. Oh, thank you so much, Media Attorney. I hope your work is going well. Thank you for popping by. Also, you've already read the book, so you don't need to stay around and listen to me drone on about the first chapter. All right, cool. Yeah, so I will read this first chapter as part of the reading. And yeah, I hope that you enjoy it. And I'm going to start. Actually, not quite going to start because we have a comment. Hi, Lab. Thank you for subscribing, and thank you so much for popping by and celebrating with me and coming to this reading / BuzzFeed quiz playing session. I always find like these usually when I do my live writing sprints, we always have a purpose or we're gonna like jump into sprints. But I always feel like a little funny doing these because I'm just I end up always rambling and veering off track. But yeah. Oh, maybe I can share my screen actually. That might be more interesting. So it's like more visual, so you don't just like look at my face while I do this. I wonder if I can just share my window. I don't know if people can see this. Um, oh, maybe not. I don't know if I'll be able to share my screen because I don't have the book in Google Docs. Actually, I might have the book still in Google Docs. This is all stuff I should have done before the live stream. I am sorry about this. Let's see if this actually works. Because this might be more fun to pop it up on the screen. Let's see. Does this work? Maybe everybody can see that? Okay, yeah, all right, that's a lot better. Yes, okay, perfect. This is my Google Doc that I was working on. This is like my final draft. I mean, I have like tweaked some things in the formatted version, but probably should be about the same. Shabit asked, "Can you explain what is the theme of your new book?" Yes, absolutely. So, They Whisper is the second book in my young adult supernatural thriller series. My series is about a group of teenagers. The book one follows a girl named Shiloh, whose younger brother goes missing, and she sets out to find her younger brother. But as she's going and looking for him, one of her classmates in school, who like she thinks is a little crazy, because the classmate says that she can see ghosts and she has the ability to see ghosts, this classmate tells Shiloh that a ghost told her where Shiloh's younger brother is, and that the ghost may hold the clue to finding out where the young boy is. So Shiloh has to decide whether she's going to actually believe her classmate, who she thought was crazy, and believe in ghosts if it might lead her to her younger brother. And it like sets her off this big supernatural adventure where it's like, spooky and ghosty, and they have like there's a really terrifying kind of supernatural plot that involves ghosts, and that's maybe why the younger brother went missing, but no spoilers. And so that's kind of the plot of book one, is Shiloh has to try to find her younger brother. And then book two picks up where book one left off. And there's kind of another darker ghost related supernatural plot that is happening and a big threat to their town. And so Shiloh and Francesca, who is her classmate who can see ghosts, and other their friends have to, like the four of them together, have to embark on like kind of a second adventure to save more people who may be in danger and save their town from this threat. So yeah, it's going to be a longer book series. So it's not going to be a trilogy. I'm considering now, I'm pretty sure it's going to be like a 5-book series, but we'll see. Things can always happen during the creative process. Lab said, "Is it like Netflix's Dark?" I haven't actually seen Netflix's Dark. I'm not familiar with what that one is about. Is that one about ghosts? This one's like a very kind of ghost heavy thriller. Yeah, okay. Cool. So I am going to do my reading of chapter 1. And then, yeah, I hope you all enjoy. So, chapter 1, Shiloh. Can we keep the lights on? My fingers pause on the light switch. I twist around to look at Max and then at Mom in the armchair in the corner. She's fallen asleep with a napkin from the cafeteria over her eyes. Max is lying on his hospital bed, hugging a balled up sheet to his chest. He looks small and vulnerable under the bright ceiling lights. I look up and close my eyes. The lights are strong enough to turn the backs of my eyelids pink. There's no way I'll be able to sleep with them on. Max pulls the sheet tighter against himself. Please, I want to keep the bad guys out. They like the dark. I guess that's fair, considering what he's been through. I don't want the bad guys in here either, I say with a sigh, letting my hand drop from the light switch before walking back over to his bed. I take the balled up sheet from Max's arms and shake the creases out, letting it fall over his body like a shroud. Stop. I shake my head to clear it as I tuck him in the way he likes. He laughs, and it gets a little easier to breathe. I was relieved when Max said he wanted to go to sleep. We've been in the hospital for 5 hours, and Max hasn't stopped asking me questions. He remembers nothing about his rescue, but that doesn't stop him from wanting to know all about it. I'm going to quickly pause here to say that this reading is going to contain spoilers for book 1. So if you are watching the playback and haven't read They Stay, or if you're here right now and watching it live and haven't read book 1 in my series and are interested in reading it, this first chapter is going to spoil a lot of stuff. So I'm just throwing it out there right now to maybe quit the live stream if you don't want your reading of book 1 to be spoiled. But if you don't care about that and want some spoilers and whatever, then keep watching and whatever, because I will keep reading. But just huge spoiler warning here. I should have preceded this chapter with that. Yeah, okay. Continuing. Are you cold? I ask him, careful to keep my voice low so as not to wake up Mom. Max coughs into his elbow. I'm okay. My heart aches. I remember Leonard's enormous hands wrapped around Max's throat, crushing his windpipe and squeezing the life out of him back in the woods. Max is breathing fine now, coughing every once in a while, but not wheezing or anything. His throat must have healed when Francesca brought him back from the dead. Dead. I can't believe Francesca can bring people back to life just like Leonard could. God, I don't even want to think about what would have happened if she hadn't been there tonight to save Max. Max pulls the blanket up high so it's right under his nose, but I can tell from his eyes that he's smiling. Given the circumstances, he's doing great. His vitals are strong, his doctors ordered a bunch of scans, and I forget the names of all the procedures they're using to check for internal damage. But so far, all of them have come back good. The doctor in charge of everything is expecting a clean bill of health, which is a miracle given what Max has been through. He's only got to stay overnight for observation. If everything comes back looking good tomorrow, he can go home, wherever that is. Bits and pieces of the last few days keep coming to me. It's all disjointed, and I'm probably in shock. Dad hit Mom without a hint of regret in his eyes, not even after it was done. I remember thinking Max was dead in the back of Leonard's trailer, and I remember the top of Leonard's head coming off when I shot him. And Miles, he was bleeding so bad. You sure you're not too cold? I curl my fingers around the thicker blanket folded at the foot of the bed. There's a bigger blanket here. Max nods. I'm good. There has to be something I can do to make him feel like he's not alone, that he's safe, that he's loved, that nothing bad is ever going to happen to him again. But I'm coming up blank. So I say the lamest thing I could say. Do you want me to stay with you? Yeah, Max says in a tiny voice, and my heart soars. I climb up onto the bed and sit with my back against the headboard. He's turned away from me. It only takes a few minutes for his breaths to slow and a few more for them to even out. Sweet dreams, Max. I gently brush Max's hair out of his face. Dear God, please don't give him nightmares tonight. A minute goes by. 10 minutes go by. Pins and needles prickle my left leg, but I force myself not to move in case I wake Max up. Darkness sloshes into the edges of my vision, threatening to pull me down into it the second I stop fighting. Last time I slept was the night before the homecoming dance. Getting ready for the dance feels like a million years ago. So does getting caught snooping through Principal Orr's office computer, stealing the ghost-seeing monocle from Ella Ruggles, and forcing Connie to lead us to Leonard's trailer. Now that I think about it, I'm going on 20 hours without sleep. Slowly, I sink down onto Max's pillow, rest my head next to his on the stiff foam, and close my eyes. Bam, bam, bam. Bullets tear through Leonard's torso and head, splattering blood and brains onto the wall behind him. My eyes split open. I killed Leonard. I killed him. He shot Miles. He killed Max, but I killed him. For the first time in my life, I got to do the hurting instead of the getting hurt. A shaky breath leaves my lips. It's done. Leonard is dead. He can't come after us anymore. I try to scrape the dry blood out from under my nails. The dark stain on the front of Mom's yellow homecoming dress swims in front of my eyes. Miles' blood. I'm covered in it. It's clumped in my hair. It's soaked through the thin fabric of the dress and stuck to my skin like glue, dyeing it crimson like a tattooed reminder that Miles has been shot. And it was all my fault. All of it. I know the nurse said he was okay, but he didn't look okay when I saw him earlier, thrashing under the sheets like a demon had possessed him. He must be in so much pain. Because of you, a mean voice whispers in my ear, and I pinch my temples between my shaking fingers. Is it just me, or is this whole room spinning? Careful to move slowly so as not to disturb Max, I slide to my feet and nudge Mom's bony shoulder. Mom, I whisper. Her eyes snap open, but they're unfocused. She blinks a few times before her gaze settles on me. Shiloh? Oh God, Max, what's wrong? Is he okay? I'm sorry, I didn't mean. He's fine, Mom. He's sleeping. It's me. I need to go find something to eat. I run my tongue over the dry roof of my mouth. Can you watch Max? With a glance over at Max's sleeping body, Mom nods. The front of her hair has slipped out of her ponytail and looks white under the overhead lights. Sure, of course I can. I chew on my bottom lip before saying, No, Mom, I mean, really watch him? Mom blinks at me. After a second, her eyes widen, like she understands what I'm asking. Not just to go back and sleep and wake up if someone comes in. I'm asking her not to take an eye off of him because it's our job to protect him. Not mine alone, but hers too. I promise. For some reason, I trust her. I guess I'm too tired not to. Thank you. Do you have any change? A smile tugs on the corner of my mouth as Mom bends to her purse and searches it for change, like she's done all my life. She gives me a few dollars and a handful of coins, and I step into the hallway and close the door behind me. The detectives are gone. It's about time. Last time I got up to go to the bathroom, Agent Huang stood by the elevators next to Babin and Finnegan. They were looking dejected after Mom threw them out of Max's room, saying they could question us tomorrow, but now they were going to let us rest. They slinked off back toward the elevator with their ties loosened, slugging back hot coffee because it got so late that it's early all over again. I'm honestly glad I have more time to figure out what I will say to them because my brain is not working right now. Do I tell them I shot Leonard? Will that get me charged with murder? I fired the gun in self-defense. He had just killed Max. I was angrier than I had ever been, but Max is alive now. Will they believe it was self-defense if Leonard wasn't actually trying to hurt me? A nurse sits behind the long desk in the middle of the suite. She runs her hand over her spiky jet black pixie cut as she hunches over a keyboard. I walk up to her, clearing my throat softly. Hi. The nurse's gaze drops to the blood on my dress, and her eyes widen. You okay, honey? I rub my sweaty palms over the front of my crimson-stained dress. I should have showered when Mom told me to earlier, but it's not like I had any clean clothes to change into, so it wouldn't have made a difference anyway. It's not my blood. Oh, that's good, hun. She has a kind face, the sort of face you only get naturally and can't pretend to have. But the overhead lights cast a harsh shadow against her cheeks. Dark circles eat away under her eyes, which are only accentuated by her navy scrubs. Do you need someone to help you? Is there a vending machine around here? Sure is, sweetie. There's another nurse behind her doing files. When she sees me, she gasps. It's down the hall. The kind-faced nurse points behind me. She has a tattoo on her forearm. In the harsh light, I take a second to figure out what it is. Is that a crocodile? A smile spreads over the woman's lips. It sure is. The detail on it is insane. Every black scale is distinct. The crocodile's mouth is open, showing off a row of wicked teeth. It's cool, I tell the nurse, trying to clear the phlegm that's building up in my throat. Thanks, honey, she says with a small smile. That's sweet of you. I stare at the mean-looking reptile. I know it's a tattoo, but those teeth look capable of slicing through my skin like a knife through tender meat. The nurse clears her throat. Is there anything else I can help you with? It hits me that I'm still standing there, staring at her like some sort of dweeb, so I mutter a small no and head off in the direction of the vending machine. The soles of my sneakers squeak against the slick polish on the cream floor tiles. Not gonna lie, the hallway is creepy. The strip lights on the ceiling create harsh shadows on the floor and walls that merge into each other as I walk. A machine beeps from inside a dark room as I pass by it. Lights flash from a patient's bedside through the open doorway. Cold air rushes through me, making the hair on my arms stand up. Behind me, I hear a steady splashing. It sounds like Dad using the bathroom at night. I glance over my shoulder to see a stream of water pouring from the drinking fountain, but there's nobody drinking out of it. I stop and walk back toward the fountain. What the hell? It's probably a malfunctioning drinking fountain, but the button looks like it's being held down by an invisible finger. I reach out to touch the button, and the water shuts off. Cold air blows past me again. Goosebumps rise on my arms. Could it? No, no way. Is there a ghost in the hospital? There probably is. Tons of people die in hospitals, so it would make sense. I wish I could see them like Francesca can. I wonder why they don't haunt their own houses. God, I'm still not thinking straight. All I know is ghosts are real. They aren't some sort of weird delusion, and the people who see them aren't crazy like I used to think there were. Whatever happened to Ella Ruggles' monocle? It came in handy to see ghosts when we were rescuing Max. I guess it doesn't matter anymore. Now that Max is safe, I'm never going to need to see ghosts again. I keep walking. The vending machine is around the corner, a black box smack dab between the women's and men's restrooms. It's bigger than I thought it would be. Bags of Cheetos, goldfish, pretzels, and Pop Tarts in almost every flavor sit behind those metal coils, ready to fall forward at the press of a button, or get stuck in the coil before they fall. I get a sudden vision of myself trying to shove my hand into the guts of the machine to get my snack. Jesus, Shiloh, Jonah would say if he could hear my thoughts. It's just a vending machine. No need to make things any weirder than they already are. What kind of snack do I want? I guess I can buy a Pop-Tart, lick the sugar off the top to keep myself awake like a crazy person. Licking sugar off a Pop-Tart in a yellow prom dress dripping with blood like the last surviving girl in a Halloween horror movie. A sick feeling churns in my stomach when I see the crisp apple flavor. It's Miles's favorite. Sometimes when he visited me at Rite Aid over the summer, he'd buy one with his iced tea. I should go see Miles. He's here in the hospital, 2 floors up, but something tells me he won't be happy to see me. I feed $3 into the flashing mouth of the machine. The black ring holding the blueberry Pop-Tart in place coils backward. I should buy one for Miles, too. It could be my peace offering, as pathetic as that sounds. I'm sorry I dragged you into this when you didn't want to get involved and you got shot. Here, have a Pop-Tart. Will you forgive me? I'm feeding 3 more bills into the machine's hungry mouth when something clatters behind me. I spin around, but there's nothing there. The sound came from farther down the hall. It was loud, like a tray of medical instruments falling over, cascading onto the linoleum floor, which is probably what it was. We're in a hospital after all. But fear creeps up and places its hand around my throat. Someone's there, a mean voice in my head hisses as I turn back toward the machine. Someone's watching you. Could it be Leonard? It's not Leonard. I killed Leonard. Clang. I spin around, only to realize it was my Pop-Tart falling into the dispenser. I keep my eyes on the glass as I bend over. The pounding in my ears grows louder. Somebody's watching me. I can feel it. My hand curls around the foil. If someone attacked me, I wouldn't have anything to defend myself with, except for my hands, which are useless. What am I going to do? Beat someone to death with a blueberry Pop-Tart? I pull the Pop-Tart out of the dispenser and stand up. The foil slips through my fingers. A nurse is standing down the hall, staring at me. He's close. Close enough for me to see the beads of sweat on his forehead. Sweat soaks his armpits and weighs down the strands of his long black hair. A large stain darkens the groin of his blue scrubs. His chest rises and falls like he's gasping for air. Are you okay? I try to keep my voice steady. Should I go get some help? His lips peel back into a grin, revealing a sizable gap between his front teeth. The strip light above my head flickers. It glints off something in his hand, something metal that his fist is curled around. He swings a pair of surgical scissors at me. I jump out of the way. The razor-sharp blades graze my skin. I run away from him, holding my arm. Heavy footsteps pound against the floor behind me. I race around the corner, and my sneakers lose their grip as I stumble to catch my balance, sprinting as fast as I can back into the pediatric ward. Call security, I yell at the woman with the crocodile tattoo. He's trying to kill me. The nurse shoots to her feet, concern flashing across her face. Who's trying to kill you, sweetheart? Him. I grab the binder from the top of the desk and spin around, holding it out in front of me like it was some kind of magical shield, but the nurse is nowhere to be seen. Okay. Cool. So that is chapter 1. As I said, there are some spoilers. So hopefully if you haven't read book 1, then they don't mean a whole lot to you, but I did warn you. So, it is what it is. I'm so happy to see that more people jumped in during that sprint. Or not during that sprint, during that reading. I'm so used to doing live writing sprints. It's like deeply ingrained into my brain during that reading. Hi Piper, thank you so much for coming. Oh, it's so good to see you in the comments. Oh, that's very sweet of you. Thank you so much. Um, Hi, Javaria. Thank you so much for coming as well. It has been so long since you did a sprint. I know. I am working on it. I've had a couple of I had some technical difficulties with the Wi-Fi while I was staying with my parents, and then I had a bit of a family health crisis that has made me bounce around a little because I had to go and stay somewhere else to, help my family recover from that. So I've been bouncing around for the past couple of weeks, and now the crisis is over, and we're just kind of working on the recovery. And I'm back home, and everything is starting to regulate itself. So I'm going to start doing live streams again. But yes, it has been a while since I've done a sprint, but I'm not over with the sprints. I'm gonna pick up again. um, Go back. R said this is written very well. Oh, good. Thank you so much. I'm happy that you liked it. Um, Javaria said, I have some questions for you. Oh, yeah, I see that you asked those. I'm just going down the comments now. I will answer them in 1 second. Piper said, we have the same writing style. Oh, awesome. We're like writing twins. Lav said, your writing is really visual. I'm seeing it in my head. Oh, good. Yeah, that's my intention. I have been told that my writing style is very simple, but I like to I purposefully try to make my writing as simple as possible, but also very visual, so it doesn't feel like you're reading it as so much as you can kind of just see what's happening in your head. So, yeah, I've worked hard at trying to nail that voice. But Javaria asked, I like to write as a hobby and don't want to have a career as a writer, but I still want to share it with other people and see how they like my writing. So I was considering to post on Wattpad for fun. But whichever video I watch about posting on Wattpad, they usually say don't because it limits you as a writer. What is your opinion on posting on Wattpad? Interesting. Okay, so I've never posted on Wattpad. I considered posting on Wattpad, but I don't write enough stories that aren't like my books to post on because I don't want to post my published books on Wattpad because I want people to go read them on Amazon. But I honestly I've never heard of that opinion of what Wattpad. I think that like if you want to write as a hobby and if you don't want to have a career as a writer but you love telling stories and want to build a community, I have heard that Wattpad is really good for that. But I think that if you wanted to build like I know that there are some authors who have had very successful careers and that they've built on Wattpad. This is just me kind of spitballing because I'm not an expert on it, but I can do a little bit of research on it. But I wouldn't discount it just because you hear people say that it limits you as a writer. I'm not really sure how it would limit you as a writer if you can just post like chapter by chapter stories that you write and find people who like them and build a community around that. What have people said about it limiting you as a writer? I'd actually be curious to hear about that because I thought that it wouldn't, because I mean the idea is that you just post chapters like every couple of days or every week or something, and you have people comment on it and then they sign up for it and then they get a notification when the next chapter is posted, right? I'm pretty sure that that's how it works. So I don't see how that would be limiting. I'd say go for it and check in with yourself after doing it for a little while and see if it's working for you and if you like the platform. I don't think that there's any harm in trying it. Javaria said, also, your voice is so beautiful and calm to listen to. Do you voice your ebooks? Oh, that's very sweet of you. Thank you. I don't voice my audiobooks. I work with an amazing narrator who is just absolutely fantastic, and she does such a beautiful job with my audiobooks. She's just like, she manages to capture the intonations of every single character. And when I listen to her narrate the book, it really feels like I'm watching a movie version of my book, just because like I don't know how she does it, but her voice is just so gorgeous and nice to listen to. And she does such a fantastic job. And I've been listening. She's currently working on the They Whisper audiobook, and I've been listening to it and just totally having all these fangirling moments about her interpretation of the book. So I don't voice my own audiobooks because she's so fantastic. And also wouldn't feel confident in my ability to voice all of the different characters yet. Like, I'd feel pretty confident to voice Shiloh and Francesca, but Miles and Jonah, I don't know. I haven't practiced as much. I'm not like a voice actor or anything, but that is very sweet of you. Thank you for the compliment. Sherry said that was excellent, really enjoyable. I'm looking forward to starting with the first book. Oh, good. Oh, I'm sorry for spoiling you there. Try to forget all of the plot elements that you just heard in that first chapter if you're going to read the first book, because there were some big spoilers in that first one. But thank you so much. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. Um, Tavaria said, I'm halfway done with They Stay. Yay! Oh, I hope that you're enjoying it. That's I love hearing about people reading my books. It feels so weird still that like now I have 2 books out there that people are reading. It's crazy. Ronald Johnson said, enjoy listening to you read. Oh, thank you so much. Thanks so much for stopping by and listening. Lab said, any advice on reading faster? I'm a slow reader and that's a killer for me. Do you mean like reading books faster or just like reading things in general faster? Because I know that I have a really bad habit. I read things really fast when I'm reading out loud, and especially so when I get nervous because I talk really fast. So even there, I was like trying to tell myself to slow down a little bit because I just can start talking and talk way too fast. And I've gotten that note consistently when I've done readings that I just need to slow down a little bit. So I honestly don't know because I don't know how to read slower. But if you mean like actually reading books faster, I'm also a very slow reader, so I have no advice for reading faster in that sense either. I'm really bad at it. Like with thrillers, that's why I like reading thrillers, because around the halfway point of a thriller, it's physically impossible. Like I get so invested in the story that I need to know what happens. But up until that halfway point, I can put the book down and I can go do other stuff, and then I can revisit it, and then I can, do all that stuff. So I'm a very slow reader until I reach like the halfway point of the book, and then I just absolutely tear through it. But yeah, I'm sorry, this was not very helpful. I am a very slow reader and also a very fast reader when it comes to reading out loud. um, Reciting my smaller pieces is easy, but the longer poem sketch pieces are a bloody nightmare, TBH. Oh, yeah. I do really like reading out loud. Like, it feels weird to read my work out loud. I used to be so nervous to read out loud in high school because we used to all have to go around and like read plays together as a class. And I used to really stumble over my words just because my brain, I think because I talk really fast, my brain works really fast. And if I get nervous, then I will like try to talk so fast that I trip over my words. And then that makes me like stumble in my words. And it's hard. It was really hard for me to get out the sentences. So it always used to make me nervous. But when I'm reading my own writing, I don't have that same problem because the sentences are structured the way that I would have naturally said them. So I do enjoy it. It is fun. I don't get to do it too often. So thank you all for humoring me and listening to me. Lab said books. I read like every word. Some said listen to calm music while reading. Oh, okay. Yeah, I read slowly. I don't I don't really yeah, I don't have any advice for this. I wish I had better advice for you, but definitely, but like also I feel like you shouldn't put any pressure on it. If you're enjoying like reading slower and you can ingest the story that way, you wouldn't want to force yourself to read faster if you're not internalizing the story in the same way, because then what's the point? It's better to read slow and like read in a way that is enjoyable and where the story can still like affect you than it is to force yourself to go a lot faster, in my opinion. Jaria said, same here. I talk so fast that when I'm done talking, I'm out of breath. Yeah, me too. I know. I was like in the middle of reading that chapter, like, wow, I need a drink of water. My mouth feels dry. And yeah, I get out of breath. I talk so fast, especially when I get talking about writing. It's a problem. Especially like in social situations when I guess here I'm talking probably pretty fast right now, but it's not this. I think in real in-person social situations, as soon as I get to talking about writing and I get really excited, I will just like absolutely take off with my word speed. The recital has to be perfect. you got to pace yourself when reciting. Oh yeah, well with poetry, I'm sure it's you have to deliver it in a specific way. I used to go to a lot of poetry slams when I was in high school, and I'd always just be so impressed by the people who are able to recite their poetry like on rhythm in a way that's just really, really impactful. I've always been interested in learning how to do that. So yeah. How are you all feeling about maybe doing a BuzzFeed quiz all together? I have this really fun BuzzFeed quiz pulled up about finding out once and for all whether you would survive a horror movie, which would kind of be a little bit on theme for this book. So I think it would be really fun to all do it together, and then we can all compare our answers and see who would survive and who would not survive a horror movie. So I'm going to post the quiz in the comments if anybody is interested in doing it with me. I think that should be the link, but let me know if it doesn't end up working. And I'm going to share my screen and we can all do it together. I just remember having so much fun doing this when They Stay came out during the little live launch party. So let's see if I can share this window. I still can't believe that this book is out there. This just feels so surreal that today was release day. Okay, here's the BuzzFeed quiz. Ronald said, "I'd be the last girl." Oh yeah, the final girl. Well, that's pretty big talk. We're gonna have to see if the quiz says that you'll survive too. I like your confidence though. Piper said, "Awesome, I'd love that." Awesome. Okay, cool. So here's the quiz. Everybody else should pull it up. So let's see. I'm not very confident about this coming back with a positive result for me. Like I am a huge scaredy cat. I like writing about this stuff in my books, but as soon as like I have a really, really low stomach for horror, like I can't really scary movies. If I see like a really scary movie like Hereditary, I watched Hereditary Thanksgiving 2 years ago and I couldn't sleep for like 3 days. I was the night that I saw Hereditary, I had to have the lights on. I had to I was Googling on YouTube, like how to not be scared before falling asleep and like watching calming videos beforehand because I just get so psyched out. It's hard for me to be home alone at night because I get so scared. Like every single reflection and shadow and noise just totally freaks me out because I have an overactive imagination. So I scare myself very easily. So I have a feeling that I know in real life I probably would not survive a haunted house, but we'll see if BuzzFeed says I will. So you hear a strange noise outside. What do you do? Check it out, ask your neighbor to check it out, ignore it, or laugh it off. I would probably I definitely wouldn't go check it out because I think I would be too scared. But I feel like if I ignored it, I probably wouldn't ignore it. Like, can I have a fifth option of like call my parents crying? Let's see. I'll say I'm gonna say ignore it. If I hear two noises, then maybe it's a little bit suspicious. The phone rings. You answer it, but there's only ominous breathing on the other line. What do you say? Very funny. Stop prank calling me or I'm calling the police. Listen, this isn't very funny. I've got a gun and I'm not afraid to use it. Nope, I've seen this in the movies way too many times. And I hang up immediately and call the police. I honestly don't know if I would call the police just from one phone call. I would probably, I don't know. Maybe we'll go with listen, this isn't very funny. I've got a gun and I'm not afraid to use it. There's no issues with threatening, scary, creepy breathing. Okay, Michael Myers has escaped the containment facility in your town. What precautions do you take? Definitely going to lock every door and window. Go to a friend's house, hide, or throw a party. Definitely not gonna throw a party. I don't know why you would throw a party. I'm not really the party person anyway. I don't think hide, like what does that mean? Like if he's loose in the town, you can't like hide forever. I don't know, but also like this question doesn't specify my relationship with Michael Myers. I think, I mean, honestly, I would probably go stay in a different town if I was really worried about it. But I think for the purposes of this, I'll say lock every door and window. Yeah, okay. You live on Elm Street, and your best friend across the street just died the other day in their sleep. All the police found were mysterious claw marks. It's late at night, and you're getting sleepy. What do you do? Take a quick power nap, chug a Red Bull, take a warm bath, do some research on this Freddy Krueger person your best friend mentioned right before dying. Oh man. I'd probably not take a warm bath. I feel like taking every single quick power nap I take ends up turning into like an hour and a half long sleep, or at least like a 20-minute sleep and a 45-minute snooze. So I don't think I'm going to do that. I think that this is probably a safe bet. We like doing research. Research will probably maybe, hopefully, lend us some answers. But it's just, that movie is so scary because you can't avoid sleeping forever. Okay. You're a counselor at Camp Crystal Lake, and all of your cabin mates have gone missing in the middle of the night. What weapon do you bring with you to check on them? A knife, a hammer, a shovel. Why would I bring a weapon? My friends are probably just playing a prank. Definitely not the last one, because we know well that they're not just playing a prank. It's always better to be safe. I mean, shovel, you have a lot of range with a shovel, and you don't have as much range with a hammer, but you can do probably most damage with a hammer or a knife. I think, I don't remember the knife that is used, or not the knife, the weapon that's used in the movie, but I'll probably say, like, we'll go with shovel because you get the most range, like you don't have to be really up close. Okay, you and your friends find a Ouija board in your attic. What do you do? Convince your friends to play it. Watch your friends play, but you don't go anywhere near it. Just leave it where it is and don't touch it, or burn it. Have any of you played with a Ouija board before? Because I have done that very many times, and nothing has ever really happened for me before, and I have been fine. So realistically, I would probably play it, but I do know in every single horror movie, Ouija boards are not what they seem. So I would always, like if I remember at camp when we would all sit around the Ouija board and be like, who does like Thomas have a crush on? I just like kind of, subtly push it toward who I thought and then dictate the answers of the Ouija board. But I feel like everybody does that. So it's not just a me thing. All right, let's see. I'll say all right, realistically, I would probably convince my friends to play it. But if I knew that I was in a horror movie, I wouldn't. But in everyday life. All right, in a creepy antique store, you find a monkey paw that will grant you 3 wishes. How do you proceed? Immediately make my 3 wishes, make 2 wishes, and then hide it where no one will ever find it, not even myself. Give it to someone that kind of sucks and let them do what they will with it. I've heard stories about those things, so I don't make any wishes. I definitely wouldn't give it to someone who kind of sucks. Like that, we don't want them to get, I don't know. This is, assuming that I had no knowledge of the way that this typically would pan out in story form. Maybe I just say I've heard stories about those things, so I don't make any wishes, because that sounds like there's always a catch in every single story about wish granting. There is always, always, always a catch. All right, your friend invites you and some of their friends to their cabin for the weekend. While there, you find an old book in the basement with some weird words in it. What do you do? Read them out loud because it'll freak everyone out. Definitely not. I let my friend read it out loud even though I'm a little nervous. No. My friend reads it aloud without telling anyone, and we all get mad at him because why would you do that? I convince everyone to just leave it alone. I mean, I would definitely try to convince everyone just to leave it alone. Like there's nothing ever good is going to come from reading creepy old chanting. But I could think that I've done a good job convincing everyone just to leave it alone, and then my friend would still read it out loud without telling anyone. So I don't know. I don't know how persuasive I am. I think people might just think that I'm a scaredy cat. So this will probably be the realistic answer. Okay, you move into a new house and your daughter starts talking to the TV. When you ask her about it, she says, they're here. How do you respond? We're getting out of here right now. Laughs nervously. That's nice, sweetie. And who's here? Carol Ann. Yeah. I think maybe I'd like laugh nervously and then say, we're getting out of here right now. But so this would probably come first. Okay. There's this tape going around rumored to kill you 7 days after watching it. A mysterious tape shows up in your house. What do you do? Well, definitely, I know the tape's going around. I'm not going to watch it. Let's see. Throw that thing out ASAP. You hide it anyway, but then it randomly starts playing on your TV anyway. Creepy. Watch it, and what's a tape? Okay, we're going to throw it out because we're smart. All right. You almost didn't make it, buddy. You made some questionable choices along the way, but you somehow managed to make it out alive. Sometimes you have to learn these things the hard way. Okay, good. So I lived. Did everybody else live, or did everybody else not live? How many of us made it out of the haunted house? Piper said my result was, well, at least you tried. Oh, well, it was nice knowing you, Piper. Renee said my result was lone survivor. Very nice. Okay. I think from the looks of it, Renee is beat everybody else. I think everybody else either like barely made it or didn't make it. Javaria said mine is almost didn't make it. Okay, yeah, we're twinning. Oh man, this is fun. Whoever wrote this has watched too many silly horror films. Well, these are good silly horror films. These are classics. They're really good. I love these movies. I haven't seen the one though with the tapes. That is a new one. Like I hadn't heard of that one, but all the other ones I had kind of heard of before. Also the Monkey Foot. I hadn't watched that movie. Does anybody know? Is that like a horror movie? The one with the tape, and also like which movies are those? Piper, I feel like you might. I know that you're a big horror fan, so maybe you know. Alrighty. I am going to stop sharing my screen. That was really fun. Thank you all so much for coming and celebrating with me. Those are the only things that I had planned to do tonight. But yeah, I'm just so grateful for everybody who has supported me throughout this writing and publishing journey. I'm just so happy that this book is out into the world finally. Today was such a good day. I'm just beaming and glowing with gratitude and happiness. And this, yeah, I haven't been able to stop smiling all day. And thank you all so much for coming and hanging out with me tonight. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say, but I will, for those of you who do come to my live writing sprints, I am going to start those up again, I think in early May. I haven't scheduled them yet, but that's my plan. So you can expect those to start again in early May. I also am toying around with the ideas. I don't know if any of you have seen my videos where I like, build a ghost world from scratch or like build a plot grid from scratch, but I'm thinking of trying out doing those live. So having kind of a live video session where we all kind of build a plot grid story together and we can all brainstorm together and kind of come up with a story together, because I think that would be really fun. I got a comment on one of those videos suggesting that, and I haven't been able to stop thinking about it. I think it would be really fun. So that I think is also going to happen in early May. So yeah, lots of more live stream things coming your way if you are interested in the live content. Thank you all so much for coming. Thank you so much, Sherry, for coming. And I'm glad that you had fun. I also had so much fun. This was a really good day. And oh, thank you so much, Javaria. Yeah, you all are the best. I am so grateful for the community that I have met on YouTube this year and last year and since I started doing this. Okay, I need to stop gushing. I've done too much gushing today. Just know that I'm very grateful for you. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me. And I will see you all soon. I hope you all have a fantastic